Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Ohio.
The Indians' bats woke up last night. 6 different players had an RBI in a 7-3 victory. Today, Corey Kluber looks to make one final statement before the All-Star teams are announced later tonight. He'll try to dethrone the Royals next on Sports Time Ohio. From Progressive Field in downtown Cleveland, it's Indians baseball. Today, the Indians look to make it 2 out of 3 against KC, and we've got the play-by-play right here on Sports Time Ohio. Hi again, everyone. I'm Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Last night, the Indians ran their record on the year to 30-5 when they score 5 runs or more. They beat Kansas City 7-3, and a win today, Rick, would give them another series win against Kansas City here at home. They've won 5 of their last 6 against them.
Well, that's exactly what they're looking for, and they ended a string of 9 consecutive losses to the Central Division. Jason Kipnis had a big RBI double last night. Swisher had an RBI double, and now Kipnis will be moving into that leadoff spot because Michael Bourne on the DL with a hamstring injury. These two teams are very similar, but I think it's a very important game for the Indians today to win the series. You go back, they've won 4 out of the last 5 series here against the Kansas City Royals.
Yeah, with the New York Yankees coming to town tomorrow, good way to kick off the homestand, get that momentum rolling before we head into the All-Star break after next weekend. Stay tuned. The play-by-play is coming up next. Another gorgeous day as we wrap up the holiday weekend at home between the Indians and the Kansas City Royals. Will Corey Kluber pitch the Tribe to a W? Find out next. I'm loving it. Buy your local Toyota dealers. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. Buy Paninis. Get overstuffed at Panini's Bar and Grill. And buy Jeep. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. And we welcome you in on this Sunday afternoon for the finale in this 3-game series. Corey Kluber on the hill for the Tribe this afternoon. Let's take a look at the lineup he'll be facing for Ned Yost and the Kansas City Royals. It's brought to you by Toyota. Lorenzo Cain in the leadoff spot, followed by Eric Hosmer. Then it's Salvador Perez. Raul Ibanez batting cleanup, followed by Danny Valencia, who will DH. Then it's Mike Moustakas. Alcides Escobar riding an 8-game hitting streak. Then Jared Dyson, followed by Christian Colon.
Our GMC starting pitcher, Corey Kluber, making his 19th start. Kluber in his last 5 starts, just 1-3, but he has a great 2.32 ERA. They haven't scored much for him, just a couple of runs of support. In 3 games, they did not score, so he's coming off a loss where he only gave up 1 run. Let's check out the Kia defense behind Kluber this afternoon. It looks like this. Aviles is in left field. That moves Michael Brantley to center. Rayburn is in right. Chisenhall at third. Cabrera is at short. Kipnis at second. Santana at first, with Yan Gomes doing the catching.
Eric Cooper has the plate this afternoon. The crew chief Tom Hallion is at first. Angel Campos at second. And Chris Guccione down at third. Royals come in with a record of 45-41. They're 4 games back of front-running Detroit in the Central. The Indians are in third place, 3 games behind Kansas City at 42-44 on the year. The Indians try to take care of their home turf, which they have done a good job of this year. They're 24-16 at home, and they must continue that into the All-Star break next weekend. Lorenzo Cain the leadoff. And our first pitch, a swing and a miss.
Well, this is the 3rd start Kluber has made against Kansas City this year. He's 1-1 and a fine 193. His first start was a complete game shutout, 4-hitter. Well, I'm sorry, it was no earned runs. They did allow a run. It was an unearned run. But these guys know him, so they're going to try and get on him early.
Yeah, they're aggressively attacking here right out of the gate. In Corey Kluber's 7 career starts against Kansas City, the Indians have gone 5-2.
Yeah, they won all 4 of his starts last year. He was 2-0, but the Indians were 4-0. So that's a good thing, giving your team an opportunity to win. But they roughed him up the last time they faced him in Kansas City. 5 innings, he gave up 6 hits and 6 runs. It was on that short 2-game series to KC.
Oh, 2 fastball is up high. Now the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Good slider. Got him. 1 away.
Well, he set the slider up. That's what happens when you're 0-2. He threw a fastball up in the zone, and then you can see he comes back with his bread and butter pitch, that slider, and gets strikeout number 1. Got to be tough on right-handed hitters when he's ahead of you.
Now Eric Hosmer, who's gone 2 for 10 in the series. Outside for ball 1. Corey Kluber is 6th in the American League in strikeouts. Also 6th in strikeouts to walk, the ratio. And he's tied for 8th in innings pitched. Bouncing ball to the second baseman, Jason Kipnis. 2 quick outs here in the first. Our keys to the game, courtesy of Wayside Furniture. For Corey Kluber, keep on that consistent roll. The way he's been pitching. You know, Rick told you his last 4 starts, he hasn't given up more than 2 earned runs.
Yeah, he's been very good.
And he needs some help, though.
Well, yeah, get a little help from your friends. That certainly helps. The run support, that's something that he can't control now that he's not swinging the bat like he did in his last start in L.A.
Well, hopefully the Indians have some left over from last night in which they banged out 14 hits in their 7-3 win over Kansas City. Salvador Perez has gone 4 for 8 in the series. And a swing and a miss. It's quickly 0-2. Perez bumped up to the 3-hole in the Kansas City lineup as Ned Yost has done some tinkering. He dropped Billy Butler down to the 6th spot last night. Today he put him on the bench. Bounced it in front of the home plate. Ned Yost said, I got sick of watching Salvador Perez come up the bat and hit line drives with the bases empty.
Yeah.
So I'm moving him up to an RBI spot, hopefully get him some chances to drive in some runs.
Yeah, and watch your DH. It's not DHing. Get him some rest and put somebody else in there that's swinging it.
Line drive on a short hop. Kipnis knocks it down, stays with it, throws, and he got him. The Royals go 1, 2, 3, and now the Indians are coming to bat. Inning. And here is Terry Francona's starting lineup for the Indians. Brought to you by Progressive. Jason Kipnis moves into the leadoff spot with Michael Bourne on the DL now. As Dribble Cabrera will bat second, then it's Michael Brantley third. Carlos Santana cleanup, then it's Ryan Rayburn in right field hitting fifth, followed by Nick Swisher. Jan Gomes seventh, Lonnie Chisenhall eighth, and Mike Aviles will play left field and bat ninth.
GMC starting pitcher is left-hander Danny Duffy, who's really having a terrific year. Although he's 5-7, he's got a 2.60 ERA. His 12th start, because he started the month of April in the bullpen and has pitched 6 games out of the pen. He's been unbelievable on the road. Even though his record is 4-4, his ERA is 1.84, and that's the second best road ERA to his teammate Jason Vargas, who's at 1.52. So that's why they have a winning record on the road. You got a couple of guys that are dealing.
Jason Kipnis leading off, looks at ball one outside. Kipnis has swung the bat well in this series. He's 4 for 8 with a double. He's not necessarily at the level of a Carlos Santana when it comes to taking pitches and working walks, but he's a very patient hitter.
Yeah, he's not far behind, though, I'll tell you that. Santana's the best in the league. But Duffy is a guy that I'll tell you don't want to spot him too much. Left-handed hitters hitting just 106 off him, 5 for 47. So if you get a fastball with him, you don't want to, we'll see what he gets to his 1-2 pitch or his put-away pitch.
They went to a blazing fastball
about
there.
96. You don't see many lefties throw that hard.
Got a good piece of Perez on the foul. I tell you what, Rick, in the month of June, the opposition batted just 168 against Duffy, so he doesn't give up many hits.
Well, he was obviously their pitcher of the month for the Royals. He lost 2 games in the month of June. One was to Anibal Sanchez, he lost 2-1. The other was to Clayton Kershaw, who, was by far the best pitcher in the game, but he lost 2-0. But he kept his team in it.
In tight. 2-2. Well, Kipnis comes into the game with 58% of the pitches that have been thrown to him he has taken, whether they be balls or strikes. Puts it in play here. Hosmer will flip it, and Duffy just did beat him to the bag. 1 away.
Let's check the key of defense for the Royals. They're rated right in the middle of the pack, 8th in the league, 49 errors. In the outfield, it's going to be Ibanez in left, Dyson in center, Kane is in right. Moustakas at third, Escobar at short, Colon at second, Hosmer at first, Perez behind the plate.
Now is Drupal Cabrera. Two hits and 9 at bats in the series. And takes a strike from Duffy. Yeah, normally you have a month of June like Danny Duffy where you have a 1.69 earned run average. Be hard pressed to see him take a loss, and yet he had two. He was 3-2 in the month with a no decision.
Well, you can't pitch much better than what he did. That goes to show you that sometimes it's awfully tough to get a win at the major league level.
The things that are beyond your control.
Right.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Michael Brantley waiting on deck here in the first. Just underway, no score. The rubber game here this afternoon as the Indians try to take the series. 2-2. Foul back. On the year, the Indians are 4-3 in these so-called rubber games. 1-1 at home, 3-2 on the road.
Well, this is really, they have to control their home field right now to the All-Star break. And that's with the Yankees coming in with a 4-game series as well if they want to get above the 500 mark at the break.
Strikes him out, 2 down. Let's go downstairs to Katie with him. Katie, obviously bad news with regards to Michael Bourne, the way he's been swinging the bat lately. Any idea how long they'll be without him now?
Well, Matt, first let's start with the good news. Terry Francona said the good news today was actually this left hamstring injury is slightly in a different location than the one he had surgery on last year. Now, he did it yesterday in the 8th inning, rounding third base. But the severity of it will be determined when he gets an MRI later today at the Cleveland Clinic. Now, best case scenario, he would have been back maybe this weekend. So Terry Francona decided to put him on the DL, give him the All-Star break. That way he can take his time getting back and not be hesitant when he does get back into the lineup.
Well, hopefully that's not going to be an ongoing problem for Michael, even after this year, because it certainly has been this year.
There's the pitch to Brantley and a bouncing ball to first. Hosmer on the backhand will take it himself. And the Indians go 1-2-3. No score after 1 in Cleveland. you by your Northern Ohio Honda dealers, by the Cleveland Clinic. Call today for an appointment today. And by the Northeast Ohio Ford dealers. Second inning. No score, Kansas City. We'll send Raul Ibanez, Danny Valencia, and Mike Moustakas to the plate. Just to finish up the thought on Michael Bourne with regards to the injury, he won't be eligible to come off the disabled list until after the Indians' first series following the All-Star break, which they go to Detroit, then Minnesota. So that's when he would be eligible to come off. Hopefully, if all goes well, that's when he'll be activated. But but with a hamstring, you never really know.
No, you don't. And it's been multiple times this year. Started right out of spring training, and it happened again, and this is the third time, so you don't know. And in that series that we come back after the break is a 4-game series in Detroit because of the makeup from earlier in the year. Remember, we were snowed out.
Yeah.
That's a day-night doubleheader on Saturday.
Yeah. Indians have Tyler Holt here today. Found out a play by Raul Ibanez. Ibanez 0 for 4 in the series. There's Tyler Holt. Got the call up today. Living out his dream
for him.
Strike 3 called. Now Ibanez rung up, second strikeout of the day for Corey Kluber.
Well, a great backdoor slider by Kluber. Ibanez gave up on it. Look at it on our Nissan pitch tracker right on the outside corner. Gets the call. Strikeout number 2 for Corey.
Well, you can see out of the hand why Ibanez gave up on that pitch. He could see him. It looked like it was going to fly out of the strike zone, but it had such tight spin. It dropped right in over the outside corner.
That's the one pitch that it's tough to probably pick up the spin on that baseball.
Valencia drives one to center field. Michael Brantley makes the catch, 2 down. Injury report today brought to you by the attorneys at Elk & Elk. In addition to Michael Bourne, Ryan Braun dealing with back spasms for Milwaukee. Edwin Encarnacion had to be helped off the field in the Blue Jays game yesterday, and he's getting, I believe, an MRI on that right quad. That could be a devastating injury for Toronto if they lose him for any length of time.
27 homers.
They've lost 3 in a row, and they've fallen out of first place in the AL East. This is one of those years where anything can happen. You just when it looks like one team has maybe figured things out, they hit the skids, go on a losing streak. Detroit was on a roll, then they hit the skids, fell out of first place, then they got hot again.
Right.
They're in first by 4 games starting today.
Oakland's been consistent all year.
Tell you what's interesting about Oakland, too. Not only have they been consistent, they lead the West by 3.5 games starting play today, but boy, they pulled off a trade while we were gone yesterday. Major blockbuster. They get Jeff Samardzija and Jason Hamill from the Cubs. So they get 2 starting pitchers into a rotation that was already pretty good.
Yeah, even though they lost 2 of their main starters going into the season.
Moustakas couldn't hold up. He went around. Now, it cost Oakland, I believe, their last 2 number 1 picks. So a couple of good prospects. Also, Dan Straley went to Chicago in that deal. But, boy, the A's are, quote-unquote, going for it.
Well, they are. They figure that their window of opportunity is a year or 2.
Moustakas strikes out, and Corey Kluber looks sharp here today. He's fanned 3 in the first 2 innings. on a gorgeous day on the lakefront. Carlos Santana, Ryan Rayburn, Nick Swisher due for the Tribe here in the bottom of the second. Hope you're enjoying your holiday weekend and hope you're keeping it safe.
Yeah, it's wrapping up, and it was a really good one weather-wise, wasn't it?
Boy, you're not kidding. Absolutely perfect. Santana lost the bat. The ball went straight up behind him and into the seats.
It came up near us. I saw the bat. I didn't see where the ball went.
Just lost the handle here.
He sure did. I thought he broke his bat.
That's rare for him.
That bat got down past it, and he's got a boatload of pine tar on it anyway.
Swinging, or he spun him out of there with a pitch inside, 1-1. Hit to right field. On the run is Kane, and it's over his head and gone. Carlos Santana blasts one into the bullpen to give the Indians a 1-0 lead.
I'll tell you what, he hit a changeup out the other way. That ball had a little carry. The sixth home run given up by Duffy, and Santana goes the right field line. That ball had to be elevated because it was a changeup after he tried to spin him out of the way. And Santana hits his 13th home run to tie him now with Michael Brantley for the team lead. Watch this pitch. High changeup. Boy, and he did a nice job staying on the baseball.
Gives Santana his 33rd RBI on the year. And the Indians strike first here today. Now Ryan Rayburn looks at a ball inside. Now for Santana, who's been swinging the bat so well since the calendar turned to June. And he is staying hot here into July.
Well, when he has that confidence and he's going, there's no reason he couldn't stay hot the rest of the year.
5 for 15 already here in the month of July. Now the 1-1 to Rayburn, and he lines one toward left field, and that will drop for a hit in front of Ibanez.
Another guy that'll probably get more playing time now that Bourne's on the disabled list. It'd be nice to get him going is Ryan Rayburn. He's in there today with the lefty, but he got on a high fastball there, and he's always been a good fastball hitter. So back-to-back hits here in the second.
Up comes Nick Swisher. Had a big hit last night, driving in a couple of runs. Pops it up. Shallow left. In comes Ibanez fighting the sun. And he makes the catch, one away. Our stat of the game brought to you by Buick. Since the ballpark opened in 1994, last night was the Indians' 900th regular season win here. 171 walk-off wins, 74 of them via the long ball. Well, it's always been a good home field advantage park for the Indians, and they're following through on that this year.
Right from year one, you're right. It's always been a fun place.
Yan Gomes looks at a ball down and in. I'd have to say that the question that I get asked most from fans or from people that meet me and know what I do for a living, what's your favorite ballpark? You know, what do you think of the parks? And I always come back to, I say, I sound like a homer for saying this, but you got to go a long way to beat Progressive Field. This ballpark has stood the test of time with all of the other new parks that have opened since it. Gomes drives one deep center field. Dyson back. He's on the track. He's out of room. It's out of here. Yan Gomes, a 2-run homer. And the Indians playing long ball here in the second. They lead it 3-0. Gomes' 10th home run of the year. RBIs number 31 and 32. And a stunned Danny Duffy can't believe what the Indians are doing to him here in the early going.
Well, let's make this our McDonald's. I'm loving it. You can see one home run, but the way Duffy has been pitching and the way he's pitched on the road, Gomes is going to, he's going to rub it in and hit a 2-runner. He got a pitch right down Broadway, and he hits it to straightaway center field. That had to be the fastball, and you can see Dyson going back over his head. So the Indians with 3 runs in the inning, all coming off the long ball. Look at Duffy. You're right. He's got a look on his face like he can't believe it.
Rick,
For Gomes, his 10th.
He gave up 1 home run in the entire month of June. And now in his first start in July, he's given up 2 in the same inning.
Yeah.
Though I will say, he gave up 2 home runs in back-to-back starts against the Angels and the Astros. So for whatever that's worth.
Well, he started the year in the bullpen with him, but you're right. He came out, started making his starts in May.
Man, Lonnie Chisnall looks at a fastball for a strike. It's 2-1. But, just to finish the thought, I mean, with all the new parks that have been built since this ballpark opened in 1994, it holds up against any of them.
Well, it's sure it does. It really does. There's so many newer parks out there nowadays. It's just not the newest, but the amenities, the facility, there's so many nice places. To have a favorite, it's hard to pick. We get to do 81 games in this ballpark.
Yeah.
So,
but the sight lines are great. I mean, the ballpark has been maintained so well by the staff here at Progressive Field. Over the years, the opening day win against the Mariners. Win number 100 a couple of years later against Detroit. 500th win came in 2005 against Oakland. Boy, Detroit's on that list 3 different times.
Oh, yeah. That's not surprising.
Mike Aviles taking a strike.
They played a lot of games in this ballpark over the time, over the 20 years.
And Aviles looks at a breaking ball for a strike, and it's 0-2. Aviles shoots one down the right field line. That's a fair ball, and into the corner it goes. Mike's on his way to second, and he'll stop there with a 2-out double. So the Indians with their 4th hit in the inning against Danny Duffy, and 3 of the 4 for extra bases.
Yeah, this is an 0-2 pitch, too. That Mike Aviles does a beautiful job to stay on. Let's look at it. That ball was down, and a nice slow fastball, but he went right at him. Aviles was ready for it, and he kept it fair down the line. For Mike, his 8th double of the season.
Now back to the top of the order, and Jason Kipnis grounded out his first time up. Low and away for ball 1.
Well, you look at it, and the Indians have had their share of problems this year against left-handers, but all the hits in this inning off the right-handed bats. Santana, Rayburn, Gomes, Aviles. A lot of the guys that did the damage last year when they had such a very good record against them. They've played well against left-handers here at home. They've had their struggles on the road. But against, they're 7-3 at home, 4-13 on the road. That's winning their last 2 on the road.
Breaking ball bounced towards first, and it's just foul. Yan Gomes with the 2-run homer to straightaway center.
Yeah, when I look at those, that was this goon squad last year for the most part. Rayburn, Gomes, and Aviles.
Yeah.
You know, this year Gomes starting every day.
Throw in Jason Giambi, and there you have it. 1-2 pitch. Fouled right back. I think it was Mike Aviles who said once a goon, always a goon. So even though Yan Gomes went into the starting lineup as the everyday catcher this year, he said he'll always be a member of the goon squad.
Well, he started as a goon last year. Now he's Mr. Goon because he's starting.
Breaking ball called third strike to end the inning. But the Indians with some home run derby here in the second. Santana with a solo shot. Gomes with a 2-run smash. And the Indians lead it 3-0. The lead, so we're going to the bullpen early today for Gary Bell.
We are.
See if he can protect the lead. Our Hear Right Audiology sounds of the game. Indians alumni weekend. Great to see you. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good, guys. I'm good.
Glad you wore your tie for us.
Yeah, well, you dogs need to dress up, man. I'll tell you.
We got to make you look better.
How you been?
You didn't watch my heat last night, man.
No, I didn't get to see it. We were off. You didn't throw it out.
They clocked me at 91, man.
How many cutoff men did you have?
Speaking of that, I got a bone to pick with you.
We'll pick it off after the game.
Okay.
Alcides Escobar going to lead it off for Kansas City here. Corey Kluber on the hill. And a first pitch strike.
So you threw out the first pitch last night?
Yeah.
Good.
Didn't bounce it, threw a strike.
Good for you. You're in for the weekend. You never called me and let me know you were coming.
Well, I hurt the catcher's hand, too. You know?
That means you're pitching in fantasy camp this spring.
No, maybe if he'd had his glove on, it wouldn't have hurt him. Askew just throw a strike, too.
I saw Joe.
We saw Joe throw it in there.
Joe was very good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So how's things going? Go ahead. I'm sorry, Matt. You had it. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say you have to enjoy watching a guy like Corey Kluber pitch.
Well, I haven't had a chance to even watch the game yet, but I liked that one last night.
Yeah, they scored 14 hits.
No kidding.
Well, you haven't had an opportunity. You don't get the MLB package in San Antonio, do you?
No.
Kluber has his fourth strikeout as he gets Escobar looking.
I'm going to tell you give you a little scouting report about this guy on the mound, Corey Kluber. He can pitch. He's got a great slider, a nice little cutter to go with his fastball. That was his 131st strikeout so far this year.
Oh, sweet.
Texas guy, and you haven't seen him pitch yet. I'm disappointed.
Well, I was, it's 300 miles up there. I'd come up to see you, but Archie, I don't know, geez.
He was too busy with the San Antonio Spurs flying them.
How about a really rear end kicking they gave Miami? I know they hated it around up here, didn't they?
More Spurs fans than you knew there were?
Oh, yeah. I was getting calls coming from everywhere. Well, you better be nice. He might come back.
Oh.
They'll accept him with open arms, too, believe me. I would, too.
You're the GM now.
Gerard Dyson fouling one back out of play to count 1-1.
Actually, he'll own half the club when they get through paying him. Oh, boy. You ready for fantasy camp?
Yes.
All right.
I'm always ready. In January, we still got maybe a half a season to do before I look forward to that every day. But we'll be right back at it again.
1-1 bounce to short. Cabrera backhand off balance throw. He knew he has to hurry, and Dyson beats it out.
Well, that's the only way you're going to get Gerard Dyson. If he hits it on the ground the other way, you've got to get it and get rid of it and throw a strike. And he just couldn't get enough on the ball because he had to jump up in the air. Ranging to his right, watch. He knows who's running. He knows he's got to get rid of it. But he just outruns the baseball. That's an infield hit. First hit of the day for the Royals.
I told Joe Askew a while ago, I said, he's the only guy I know that's gotten released from 2 fantasy camps. Well, you got to be going pretty bad to do that.
Joe didn't come up here. Is he up here, or did they send him into a suite?
He got released. He won't come around anymore.
He did an interview out in center field there somewhere.
Yeah, that was a pregame show.
Yeah.
We saw that one on the air.
He's loading his mouth up in wherever we were. I don't know. I can't even find my way around
the media
here.
room.
Yeah,
and you'll be right there behind him.
No, we were in that $100 place, man.
He's in the
hospitality.
hospitality.
Right over here.
Hospitality. Yeah.
He's oh, we got you. We've got cameras everywhere. We will find you.
Runner goes. Gomes with a throw down to second, but not in time to get Dyson. His 14th steal of the year.
That guy can run.
Yes, he can. That's his 14th steal. He can run.
Had a nice visit with Mr. Francona and the coaches before the game.
I saw you talking to Terry.
Yeah.
You roomed with Tito, Terry's dad, right?
I played with him, but
okay.
He was too rowdy for me. I was a straight-laced guy.
No, he was the guy that played a lot. He had to get his rest. You were the one that went out and stayed out.
Well, that's when you work once every 5 days, you don't have to worry about it.
Well, with Terry, that's right. It's fun. We don't get to see, but yeah, back in the day, were here in '59 when Tito had that great year offensively?
360. You bet. Yeah, I'll tell you a story when we get the break here.
Well, you can talk.
Oh, okay.
You'll be here for 9 innings if we wait for you to tell this story in between pitches.
We
only watch on for a half.
Well, I'm not leaving anyway. I don't get, like I said last time, this may be my last shot here, baby.
Your last hurrah. You may be the next guy getting released from fantasy camp.
I've thought about that.
All right, let's get back to Tito.
Ryan Duran was pitching against him years ago over in the old stadium, and you know how hard he threw.
With glasses.
And Tito's up. Hold on. Tito's up the plate, and he threw him a low fastball, and he hit a bullet right off his kneecap. And we hated Ryan Duran anyway. I loved it, man. He went down like they shot him with a 30-06. It was like a bull ring. They came out and put the chain around his foot and drug him off the field.
He did. He got him out of the ball game, huh?
Oh, absolutely. For a while. Oh, boy, this is great. You guys actually get paid for this?
Well, every other day.
Good.
Only because we got to deal with people like you that come up and they're our guests.
You better be nice. I got stuff on both you guys. You better be cool.
I can't wait to see your book.
Oh, I got to wait till all my relatives are dead before I write it. I can't write that. I'd have to squeal on myself a little bit.
Well, back in the day, though, the game has changed a little bit. Could you imagine with Twitter and the way cameras are nowadays, back in the day, playing baseball? I don't think it would work, would it?
No. No. Back in those days, the sports writers used to go out with us, have a beer, and they didn't write about your personal life, not anymore, man.
Well, you trusted them, and
There is no out of bounds anymore, is there really?
I don't know. I don't think so. Well, and all the money these guys are making, they can't afford to go anywhere. If someone wants to sue them,
Well, and you used to have roommates, and that used to be half the fun when you would travel
true.
and you had roommates.
That's true.
Cologne strikes out. Another K for Kluber, and that's number 5. 2 down here in the 3rd inning.
Who was the best roommate you ever had? Was it Woody Held?
Woody was great.
Yeah,
I love Woody.
I know you guys always had great stories when you.
I had a bunch of roommates, man. I killed most of them, but
he was a shortstop that had range of how far.
He could go 2 or 3 inches in either way, man.
So you better make sure it was an atom ball.
He won my very first game for me against the Yankees,
home run.
No, he hit a triple out in the Monuments,
Okay,
and,
457 in left center
Yeah,
field.
it rattled around back out there. Miller Huggins jumped out of the way. Woody could hit. I miss him.
Oh yes, we all
miss
do.
him.
God rest his soul.
Yeah. Poor old Woody. I remember when he was going in for when he had brain cancer. He had they were going to drill a hole in his head to see what was in there. And of all times to call me, he called me. He said, "Rummy, they drilled a hole in my head." I said, "What'd they find?" He said, "Nothing." He said, "Air came out." And the guy's on his deathbed almost. It's
only
crazy.
Woody would call you.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm the only one he knew how to call. He lived out there in the boonies, man.
That's true. It took him a week and a half to get to fantasy camp when he left because they didn't have planes. He would travel by yak.
Liner to second, caught by Kipnis. And the inning is over. Gary, thanks for stopping by. Great to see you
guys.
as always.
Love you. Hello, John Simon.
Oh, you got one in. You snuck one in.
I
You
did.
dog. That's going to cost you.
Beautiful day here at the ballpark. And a reminder, if you are enjoying a cold one here this afternoon, to stay tuned later in the game for Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. For the Indians is Dribble Cabrera, Michael Brantley, and Carlos Santana. Cabrera struck out his first time up. And Duffy delivers. It's fouled right back. The Indians had 14 hits last night. Already 4 here this afternoon.
Yeah.
3 runs in.
Off a guy that hasn't given up very many all year. The rest of the league was batting 189 off him coming into today's game. So he left a couple pitches up in the zone. And they took advantage of it.
Here's the 1-1. And a foul over toward the Tribe dugout. Oh, nice bare hand grab by Brad Mills. High pop on a breaking ball. Ibanez in left. One away.
Well, can you beat the best? Join millions of players now on the only official home run derby mobile game from MLB.com. You square off against your friends from around the world live in multiplayer derby mode and climb to the top of the leaderboards. Download today for free on the Apple App Store and Google Play.
Michael Brantley grounded out his first time up. Michael Brantley yesterday with his team-leading 8th three-hit game of the year. 5th most in the majors.
Well, he's already at the 100-hit plateau and climbing. He's been so consistent all year. He's been fun to watch. He just seems to get better and better. Now, I'm sure he'll get the bulk of the playing time in center field.
Now the 1-1. Ground ball up the middle. Diving stop by Colon, but Brantley beats it out at first. And a one-out single here in the 3rd inning. That's a heck of an effort by Colon just to stop it.
Yes, it is. And he made it close. And Hosmer, usually a very sure-handed first baseman, he just couldn't come up with this. I don't know if they would have had him or not. It would have been really close had Hosmer picked this ball. I think Brantley would have beat it out anyway for a base hit. So he gets his 6th hit in the series. But a very good effort by the rookie Colon.
Now Carlos Santana, who took a changeup and hit it out to right field. His first time up.
There it is. A high changeup. Took it the other way. Stayed on it nicely. He elevated it for him, and Santana took advantage of it. It was a good job.
Swing and a miss, chased one in the dirt, 0-2. 22 of Santana's 33 runs batted in this year have come via the home run. That's not all that surprising, considering that he's got 13 home runs, and the batting average has been hovering right around the 200 mark for most of the season. So most of his hits have been home runs. Popped out of plate on the left side.
You know, the minute you think you can sneak a fastball by him, too, even down in the count 0-2, and he threw him a good breaking ball, he's ready for it. That was 94. He looked back, was at a strike, and he was still out in front of it, even though it was 0-2.
Well, he's probably one of those guys who has just tremendous trust in his hands. I mean, it's one thing to say it, but to be able to wait and spoil a fastball and...
Yeah, and we say it so many times, though, when he's in a count 0-2, he works his way back into the count by taking so many pitches and close pitches. He's amazing. When you talk about take percentage, he's the #1 guy in the American League. Almost 64% of the time he'll take a pitch. So when you put the ball or swing at the ball and put it in play, you got to be dead on.
I mean, that's when you really start thinking about that. So 6, actually better than 6 out of every 10 pitches that are thrown to him, he's taking.
I mean, he may get up and swing early and be aggressive, but when he does, he'll take the next 2 or 3 and get his right back into the count.
Hit hard to third. Nice stop by Moustakas. Goes to second for 1. And a double play around the horn. 5-4-3 to end the inning. That ball was hit hard, but Moustakas made a terrific play to end the inning. Three 3-0 Indians on top. Going to the 4th inning. Remember, you can tweet your photos to us using the hashtag STOFanPhoto for a chance to have them shown during one of our telecasts. It's all courtesy of AT&T. Eric Hosmer, Salvador Perez, and Raul Ibanez due for the Royals here in the 4th inning. Swing and a fly ball to center field. Back goes Brantley. On to the warning track for out number 1. Rick, today the Royals do not have Billy Butler or Alex Gordon in their starting lineup. And according to Brian Shapiro, one of our erstwhile Sports Time Ohio guys, who now produces for Kansas City, it's the first time since June of 2010 that both of those guys have been missing from the Royals starting lineup.
Wow. Quite a while, huh?
Gives you an idea of how regular a presence that they have been over the years, how consistent they have performed.
Well,
but it also tells you that even Ned Yost has his limits. And I think his patience with Billy Butler in particular, he has stood by him. He's been a consistent performer for a long time, but he hasn't been getting the results, and
Well, you get a day off. You get a day off after a night game. But you're talking about last year was your number 1 hitter and your number 3 hitter. Now it's your number 3 and number 5 hitter. Butler and now Gordon. And Gordon is an outstanding left fielder as well. So it is a little surprising, but goes to show you that's how far back you have to go. But it also goes to show you everybody needs a break, whether it's mental, physical, every once in a while. And it just so happens that those two are getting one today.
Well, and for Butler, as I mentioned before, he got dropped down to the 6th spot last night in the lineup, and there were some interesting comments about that. And in particular from Billy Butler. He said, look, somebody's got to be that guy. And it's sending a message to the rest of the guys. I can take it. I guess I'm mentally a tough guy. He, being Ned Yost, could do it to somebody else, but he thinks that he knows I'll take it. Fouled up the first base side. Ned Yost said of Billy Butler, look, he's just in a funk. He was really swinging the bat well until we went on this road trip. He was doing fine, and I still think he's capable of being the Billy Butler that we've had in the past. He just hasn't been that guy.
Well, I'm sure most of the time the managers, before they do something like that, they will call the guy in and talk to him about it anyway. It's not going to be a shock or a surprise.
Perez strikes out, 2 down. I thought the most telling comment, Rick, was this one right here. So Butler, who had went into yesterday 1 for his last 19, and Ned Yost was asked by a reporter what he had seen lately from Butler in his at-bats. Yost reply, nothing. Okay, then.
Well, he's looking for, what do you see? You're looking for quality at-bats? Well, no, he's not looking for quality at-bats. He's looking for hits. And when you're 1 for 19, there is nothing he's shown him. So, I mean, I guess you're being more flippant with a reporter than anything else.
Sure.
And then the reporter's going to say what you said and try and turn it back on you. But when you're 1 for 19, you don't see a whole lot. Especially when you're sitting in the middle of an order of a lineup where you have to have a little production.
Well, and for a team that's starving for that kind of production to go along with the tremendous pitching that they've had. Bouncing ball to first. Santana backs up. He'll feed Kluber. And the Royals go 1-2-3. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. It's the Indians 3 and the Royals nothing. On FoxSportsOhio.com. Join the discussion on Game Day Live with Joe Reedy. Check out Joe's feature on TJ House and Sam Amico on what the Cavaliers might be up to. It's all on FoxSportsOhio.com. Bottom half of the 4th inning, and Ryan Rayburn will lead off for Cleveland. Then it will be Nick Swisher and then Yan Gomes. Ryan Rayburn with a single and a run scored. Bouncing ball up the middle, but shading him up the middle was Colon. One pitch, one out. Let's go downstairs to Katie with him. She's got more on what the Indians are trying to do in their approach against Danny Duffy.
Well, Matt, Indians hitting coach Ty Van Berkelio described Danny Duffy as a power pitcher that has a changeup that completely bores into a right-handed hitter, but they've noticed he's had command issues early. So today, the approach was to get out there, really force him to work, and prove that he can throw it in the zone. When it gets in the zone, hit it, because the best way to get a pitcher's pitch count up, Van Berkelio said, is to hit him, which we saw on that second.
We sure did, and he elevated a few pitches, and Santana hit that changeup for a home run.
Well, 5 hits for the Indians in the ballgame thus far, and the most hits Danny Duffy allowed in his last 4 starts was 4. So they're already ahead of that.
There was the changeup, the fastball. I think Gomes hit a fastball as well. I didn't get a speed on it, but I think that was a fastball to straightaway center.
But the key is looking up in the zone and getting after it.
Well, they got it up in the zone.
Nick Swisher flied to left his first time up. 0-2 breaking ball in the dirt. Danny Duffy was a 5th-round pick of the Royals back in 2007. Out of high school in California. Grew up in Northern California. Line drive, base hit into left field. Another pitch up in the strike zone. And Nick Swisher takes advantage for the Indians' 6th hit of the day.
Yeah, he picked on a slider, the breaking ball from Duffy. So Nick gets his first hit. You can see elevated. That was really high up in the zone. So Swish gets hit number 6.
You wouldn't know it to look at him now, Rick, but Danny Duffy, who's at 6'3", 205 pounds, was once a struggling freshman high school pitcher back in California.
Probably didn't grow till his junior year like that.
He was 5'4" as a freshman.
Wow.
And he said his fastball maxed out around 70 miles an hour. But he stayed with it, had that growth spurt that you talked about. But it was his mom who really helped him. His mom was a really good catcher in fast-pitch softball in her day. So she was in the backyard catching him. And he said, she caught me all the way up until I started to touch 90 miles an hour, and then it was time to...
Good for Mom.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say he was 5'4". She put him on the stretcher so he could grow to 6 foot. But, I mean, she caught him. Nice.
He said she had a Mike Piazza Rawlings model catcher's mitt. But she'd go out and throw batting practice to him and everything.
Beautiful.
Downstairs.
I mean, you'd have to be worried about maybe throwing a breaking ball in the dirt and hurting Mom or something like that. But great job.
And there was no screwing around in the Duffy household. His dad was an investigator for the sheriff's department, and Mom was a highway patrolwoman. Yeah.
He couldn't fool them.
2-1 delivery. Popped up on the infield. Colon. He'll make the catch in shallow right, 2 down. Time now for a Mazda game break. Back to the studios. Here's Al.
All right, Matt, Rick, let's go to New York where the Mets are taking on the Rangers today, and the Mets with 5 runs in the bottom of the first inning. Here, Anthony Recker, the catcher, a 3-run homer, his 3rd of the year. Mets 5, Rangers nothing. 3rd inning in New York. Matt?
All right, thanks, Al. I misspoke. Al's not actually in the studio. Well, he's in the
ballpark
the studio away from the studio. Our new on-location studio located in center field just beyond the Indians' bullpen. Gorgeous new look for Indians Live if you hadn't had a chance to check them out. Al and Jason and Katie, sometimes Jensen Lewis. You can catch them half an hour before every Indians ball game here on Sports Time Ohio.
The new home.
Yeah. And, of course, post-game. After the game today, they'll be out there.
Be a nice look.
Lonnie Chisenhall struck out his first time up. Snap throw to first, but Swisher wasn't that far off the bag.
Send along a birthday wish today. Betty Listener of Middleburg Heights is turning 96. Happy birthday, Betty. And on a sad note, we got to send out a guest service department. Harry Reimer has passed away and lost a dear friend. He worked here for the last 12 seasons and an avid Indians fan, so condolences to his family.
Yeah. Popped up right on the infield near the pitcher's mound, and Hosmer takes it, and that ends the inning. 4 complete. It's the Indians 3 and the Royals nothing. Sunnyside Honda at I-71 and Pearl Road in Middleburg Heights. By Levin Furniture. For the best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. And by Kia. Visit mykiacleveland.com to learn more. Beautiful Playhouse Square, not too far from the ballpark. Here in downtown Cleveland, Danny Valencia, Mike Moustakas, and Alcides Escobar will bat for Kansas City here in the 5th. Great holiday weekend. Lots of fans here at the Yard. Friday night, Saturday night, great fireworks shows. And now wrapping up the series with a day game this afternoon. Then the Yankees come to town for a 4-game series beginning tomorrow night. So Monday through Thursday, all 4 games, 7 o'clock starts. Hope to see you down here at the ballpark. If you can't make it, we'll have them for you right here on Sports Time Ohio. And in addition, tomorrow's game could also be seen on WKYC. Danny Valencia flied to center in the 2nd inning. On the ground, Jason Kipnis. 1 away. In-game recap brought to you by your Toyota dealers. And for the Tribe, they got it rolling in the 2nd. High changeup. Carlos Santana hit it out to right field. Then after a base hit, Yan Gomes drives one out to center field. 2 home runs in the 2nd, and the Indians have a 3-0 lead. Corey Kluber has made it stand up, allowing just 1 hit through 4 1/3. He has struck out 6 and has not walked a batter.
Well, you talk about being efficient. This is pitch number 48 for Kluber. Already in the 5th inning.
Yeah, and 34 of his pitches have been strikes. So
yeah, he's got really good life to his fastball today. And when you faced him before, you know against Kluber, you want to get ahead early or he can get the strikeouts.
Well, Moustakas got out in front of that one, and he hits it down the line and out of here for a home run. his second home run of the series, his 10th of the year.
And his 5th against the Indians.
Half of his home runs against the Indians. Hard to believe. What does he have on the Tribe that he doesn't have on anybody else in the league?
I don't know. He just has confidence, I think, when he's playing the Indians. He was sent down to AAA this year earlier to get his confidence back. They said he came back with a little better thought process coming up here, that he was going to have fun and make it a game, and Kluber just made a bad pitch there.
Looked like a little cutter that didn't cut.
Yeah, he speeds the bat head up, Moustakas, so he gets him on the board. It's 3-1.
And now Alcides Escobar. Fastball, it's a dart at the knees. Look at that, Moustakas hitting .345 against the Indians. Half of his home runs and 11 of his 35 runs batted in.
They ought to throw away their scouting report on him and go to somebody else's. Try and get some info from somebody else.
And yet for the year, Moustakas hitting just .195. And that has been puzzling to Kansas City, why both Moustakas and Hosmer offensively have struggled this year.
Well, it was last year as well. You figure these young guys are going to develop and they're going to be right there. And when they won their 10 straight games, they averaged 7 runs a game. They hit the ball because their pitching is third in the league, very good. But, hitting comes and goes, as we all know, as a ball club. And if you can't consistently put 4 on the board, and you really want more than 4, you'd like to see 4.5 to 5. Well, it's hard to do.
I mentioned before, when the Indians score 5 or more, they're 30-5 this year, so that's their magic number.
But unfortunately, 40 times they've scored 3 or less.
Just missed. And a full count. Struck him out looking. Boy, he painted the outside corner with a good fastball for his 7th strikeout of the afternoon.
Well, another Sugardale Dollar Dog Night takes place this Thursday. The Yankees will be in town. It'll be Dollar Dogs all game long. Also, the last appearance of his career for Derek Jeter, coming in with the New York Yankees in the 4-game series. So go to Indians.com and get your tickets.
We will not see CC Sabathia in that 4-game series, and it sounds like you might not see him the rest of the year.
Yeah, that's what Girardi's saying. That's his manager, so he would know.
A knee problem that just continues to flare up, and they're talking about potentially that microfracture surgery.
Oh boy!
Off the foot of Dyson, and he goes down in a heap.
Well, if you're a pitcher and that guy does it, you want him to, because he got the infield single back in the 3rd inning and also stole a base. He makes his living with his speed and his feet. And that one went right off the foot. Straight down, and I'll tell you what, that ball, it was right off the top of his foot, stayed fair. It was like a perfect bunt going right over the bag. Santana fielded it, but that was off his foot. So that thing rolled out a long way.
Missed outside with it. 2 balls and a strike. Lonnie Chisenhall in on the grass at 3rd base. He'll stay there until Dyson gets to 2 strikes, which he does now. Bounce towards second base. Kipnis will have it. And the Royals are out here in the 5th, but they get on the board on the homer by Moustakas. 3-1 Cleveland, middle of the 5th. 15th, baseball's best gather in Minnesota as Derek Jeter takes the field in his last All-Star game in what promises to be an unforgettable night. Special coverage begins at 4:30 on Fox Sports 1, followed by the 2014 All-Star Game at 7:30, only on Fox. Mike Aviles leads off the bottom of the 5th for the Tribe. Double down the right field line his first time up.
Yeah, that double came on an 0-2 pitch from Duffy.
One ball, one strike. Aviles has been one of the better hitters in the American League. He's 16th overall in the American League when he has 2 strikes on him.
Yeah, Mike's done a good job. Along with David Murphy, he was there earlier in the year, always a good 2-strike hitter. Michael Brantley.
Sounded like he shattered the bat. And Moustakas throws him out, one away. Our great clip of the game from last night. Jason Kipnis stand back on the ball nicely. Opposite field, double to left. He's 0 for 2 thus far today. Breaking ball in for a strike. And it's 0-2. Grounded to first. And it gets by Hosmer. A rare error for the Royals' first baseman. The Gold Glover had one just skip past him.
You know, it almost looked like he was trying to do the slide and pick it up so he could maybe beat Kipnis to the bag. He likes to try and beat the runners to the bag, but he forgot to catch the ball.
That is his 7th error on the year.
Let's watch on the backhand side. See, he was going to pop up and get it to go run to the base or flip it, and he does not. So,
well, they gave him a hit. Okay. So no error for Hosmer, who has just 6 on the year.
Well, you've seen that guy make that play before. There's one that a lot of times, because you're a good first baseman, you'll get the error there.
And now Cabrera lines one into left field, a base hit. So the Indians with 2 on and 1 out now for Michael Brantley. Just to kind of follow up on what you were saying, too, as we watched the Cabrera base hit on the curveball. You get so used to watching a guy like Hosmer make play after play after. You're almost shocked when he doesn't make one.
Yeah, I mean, and we had talked about this a number of times before. When you're a good defender and you've won Gold Gloves and you're supposed to pick everything, a lot of times you'll get an error because they see you make that play so many times.
Yeah,
and you could be a bad defensive player and you could boot one right at you. Well, he doesn't make that play, and they give base hits. So
reputation can hurt you sometimes.
It certainly can defensively.
The Indians with an opportunity here in the 5th inning. 2 on, 1 out. Michael Brantley, a base hit his last time up. Indians leading it 3-1. And Brantley got tied up.
No, you won't see that kind of swing too often against Brantley.
He's having a team meeting with himself right now.
The Indians the last 2 days, they've done a nice job when they've been down in the count 0-2 or 1-2. Yesterday, they were 3 for 8 in situations like that with a walk. Today, they're also 3 for 8 when they're down in the count. So hitting with 2 strikes, that helps.
Danny Duffy, 50 out of his 70 pitches have been for strikes today. And there's another one, but it's hit in the right field, a base hit coming around third. Kipnis will score as Kane lobs it into the infield. 4-1 Indians. as Brantley picks up RBI number 57 on the year, and it's now his 7th hit in the series.
Well, how about that? He picked on a nice breaking ball as well and smoked it past Colon at second base. There's another pitch he left middle of the plate. Watch the location. Boom. Right there, middle in. Turned on it nicely. Brantley gets his 57th RBI. That's his 2nd hit of the game. So they answer that run that Kansas City put on the board, and it didn't take them long. 3 straight singles after Aviles grounded out, and they stretch it to a 4-1 lead.
And a chance to continue to add on now with only 1 out as Carlos Santana steps in. This equals the most hits Duffy has allowed in a game this year. He gave up 9 hits against the Angels back on May the 23rd.
Well, their approach has been really good off. I know his location is probably off for him today, but they haven't missed pitches. They've hit him hard. They've hit him out of the ballpark.
Oh, Santana had a mighty hack.
Yeah. And remember, in the 3rd inning after a base hit, Santana hit a bullet down the 3rd baseline, and this guy, Moustakas, turned a double play, which is really great play. Or it could have been more damage. So their offensive approach has been very good against a left-hander that's been really good.
And a foul back. Well, as Katie mentioned earlier, Ty Van Berkeley and Matt Cottrell talking to the hitters about, look, against Duffy, if he's going to give you something to hit, more times than not, it's going to be something up in the strike zone, and they've attacked anything that's been up. They've been all over it.
Well,
the 0-2. Bouncing ball, weakly hit to first. Hosmer will take his only out at the bag. 2 down. Cabrera to 3rd. Brantley to 2nd.
12,500 fans will get a Jason Kipnis bobblehead. That'll be courtesy of First Energy. Tuesday, day after tomorrow, the Indians will host the Yankees. Yeah, another thing I like to see, too, between Kipnis and Brantley, they're 3 for 6 off Duffy. And he came in with a 105.
Yeah, left-handers had 5 hits all year, right?
Yeah, 5 hits all year. 5 for 47 coming in. So they already have 3 of them.
Well, Ryan Rayburn had a line drive single in the 2nd inning. Grounded out his last time up. 2-out hit here could really do some damage.
Could really make it hurt, no question. Get you over your magic number. 5.
In the dirt, blocked nicely by Perez. Upstairs with it. How do you like that? It's 3-0. Nick Swisher waiting on deck.
Ooh, that boy. 3-0. Let him get after
it. And he was looking for it, too.
I don't blame you. You've got a 3-run lead. You've got 2 runners out there in scoring position. You get the count in your favor. You figure I'm going to get a fastball. He did. The only thing he didn't do was put it in play. He had a good swing and just fouled it straight back.
The 3-1 pitch. Out of play and a full count. As Drupal Cabrera is at 3rd base, Michael Brantley at 2nd, so good wheels on the bases. Payoff pitch. And another foul back. Duffy working out of the windup with runners at second and third. And again, a 3-2 pitch. And again, it's fouled out of play. So Rayburn putting up a very good at bat here. Fouled off the 3-0 pitch. And he's fouled off everything since. Eighth pitch of the at-bat. Breaking ball got him to end the inning. But the Indians get a run back. And after 5, it's now Cleveland 4, Kansas City 1. Michael Brantley with his 7th hit in the series. And his friends Thursday, July 17th at Classic Park in Eastlake for a celebrity softball game. Special event features Cleveland's pro football players and a home run derby at 6. And photos, autographs from the players are available. For tickets, log on to captainsbaseball.com. Sixth inning. And for Kansas City, Christian Colon, Lorenzo Cain, and Eric Hosmer due up. Christian Colon on Friday night became only the second Royal ever to have 3 extra base hits in his first big league start.
Yeah, all extra bases, huh?
The only other guy to do it, Rick, was Mark Quinn, you may remember. Back in 1999, he had 2 homers and doubled in his first big league start.
Wow. So he set the bar. That's tough to beat. He had a triple and 2 doubles.
Breaking ball out of play.
That was the first one, a triple. Set up the inning nicely. Another one down the line. Oh, and then let's go down the other one.
Yeah.
He covered the whole field. Straightaway center, left field line, right field line. Goes to show you there's hits everywhere.
Oh, just off the outside corner.
That was an excellent pitch. See if he comes back with his little cutter out there to get him to chase it. That was a straight fastball he just missed with. There it was.
Boy, he beat that right into the ground, and Kipnis throws him out. 1 down. Six ground ball outs, 7 strikeouts, and a couple of balls popped in the air. Almost a little line drive out. Corey Kluber has been terrific here today. Mike Moustakas with a solo homer in the 5th, the only run for Kansas City, and one of only 2 hits for the Royals.
Well, that first game this year that Kluber pitched against Kansas City, he had a complete game, 9 innings. He gave up just 4 hits. They did score a run. It was an unearned run. He didn't walk anybody and had 11 strikeouts. Well, he's right about on course. Except the run they scored today was a mistake that Moustakas hit out. And who else? His 5th homer against the Indians this year.
How's this for consistency? So he's gone through the order twice now today. First time through, he made 33 pitches. Second time through the order, 32 pitches.
Dynamite.
Kane beats it into the ground. Lonnie has to hurry. Gets rid of it. Too high with the throw. Hit the railing and bounced back to Kipnis. So Kane will have to stay at first base. And luckily for Kansas City, he didn't make a move towards second, or he'd have been caught in no man's land. That ball hit right on the railing.
They caught a break
and stayed in play. Kane runs well, and Lonnie might have just rushed it.
Lonnie has issues on the run from third base. He has a tough time controlling the baseball when he's on the run. When he gets his feet set and everything, he's fine. But it seems like any time he's on the move, he can't find an arm slot, and that ball can go anywhere. It's a base hit.
Eric Hosmer 0 for 2 on the day. Hosmer has grounded out, and he has flied to center. That's low, 2-0. Hosmer has picked up a hit in 5 straight games for Kansas City. Out of play, and it's 2-2. I mentioned before the Indians are 4-3 in games that decide a series, the so-called rubber game. Kansas City's gone 6-2 so far this year. And that's, those are, as it goes along, you say, well, this is a big game. Well, when you have 162 of them, it's hard to place the weight. But when you're talking about winning a series, those are the ones that are difference makers over the course of a long year. Yes. Brantley got turned around, but he's there. 2 down.
Well, and it makes it that much tougher when you lose the first one to come back and win that series, And so that's when you're going to get a lot of rubber games, when you lose that first one. That's what happened to the Indians. So this is, I would say, a big game for them, no doubt.
Well, early in the year, when the Indians won the first game of a series, even if they lost game 2, they were doing really well in winning series. But when they would lose the first game of a series, It was almost certain disaster for
that's
the Tribe.
what I was talking about. And last night, the Indians snapped their 9-game losing streak against the Central Division, so they want to get back on track. And Kansas City's won 12 of the last 15. They had the worst record when we went back to Kansas City, 5-15, but they've turned that around. And the Indians are coming up with a bulk of play between now and through the All-Star break to the end of the month of July of getting back into the Central Division.
Now, these include 4- and 2-game series, but when the Indians win game 1 of a series, they've gone 9-1 with 2 splits. When they lose game 1, 3-10 with 2 splits.
Okay, so they have a chance to do something here, and it's on their home turf.
Yeah, I mean,
they have to start making a move. They as a team, they've got to get better. They've got to start winning the series. That's how you turn it around, and that's how you get momentum going as a ball club. That's what Seattle did when we were out there playing. They got on a roll, and they were starting to win series. Winning 2 out of 3, 2 out of 3, 3 out of 4, whatever it took, you were winning the series. That's how a club gains momentum.
Well, Seattle's put themselves in position not only to be within striking distance of Oakland in the West, but they've put themselves in the potential wild card picture, too.
Yes, those 3 teams out there are playing very good. Angels, Mariners, the A's.
Good breaking ball by Kluber, and he gets ahead 1-2.
Nobody's taking charge in the East. Of course, and in the Central, it's Detroit, really. And you're going to have to try and keep pace with them.
Yankees hammering Minnesota early today. They lead the Twins 6-0 in the 2nd inning at Target Field. Seattle, Chicago, White Sox lead the Mariners 1-0. They're in the 2nd in the Windy City. Tigers will be playing later tonight. They've got the 8 o'clock game at home against Tampa. Here it's 4-1 Cleveland. Royals batting with a man at first, 2 down. Swing and a miss, and Corey Kluber has his 8th strikeout of the afternoon. Family at the ball game today. I think that's her brother, mom and dad.
All right, taking in the ball game at the ballpark. Yeah. She was out at Cedar Point yesterday, I guess.
Was she now?
Yeah.
Oh, you're keeping tabs, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
You see all.
I know all.
Nick Swisher will bat here in the bottom of the 6th for the Indians. He is 1 for 2 on the day. Pitch number 85 for Duffy. 60 out of 85 pitches for strikes. High pop, fouled on the left side and in the seats. 42-year-old Raul Ibanez running hard over there to check it out. Two balls and two strikes. High pop on the infield. Escobar, the shortstop. One away. As promised earlier, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Back in the second inning, after Carlos Santana had already homered, Yan Gomes with the man aboard, driving one out of here for his 10th home run of the season. That made it a 3-0 Indians lead. They lead it now 4-1. Interesting in that Gomes, I don't know what to make of this, but he's batted .300 at home this year. And that was that home run gives him 11 RBIs at home. On the road, he's hitting just .242, but has 21 runs driven in.
Huh. Well, he hits for average because his baby keeps him up at night and he can't sleep, and he relaxes. He goes on the road and he has to drive him in. I don't know what to take of that.
That home run is fourth at home this year of his 10. There's a fly ball deep left field. Ibanez on the move. He can't get to it, and it is a fair ball in the corner. And into second base, Yan Gomes with a one-out double. And the Indians have pounded out a season-high 10 hits against Danny Duffy, or I should say it's a season-high 10 hits allowed by Danny Duffy here this afternoon.
You know, this ball looked like it was in slow motion. It got inside on him, a good fastball, but he kept it fair. And that thing comes down, and it just floated down, and it stayed in fair territory. We lost it. It was down the line, but that was a pitch that got inside. He was able to get enough of it, fight it off, and it goes for a double, his 12th of the year.
Ned Yost was asking his guys, and no challenge. And Raul Ibanez was right there. If anybody would have had a better look at it than him, but he didn't signal anything.
Well, I'm sure the third base umpire, Guccione, got out there in time because that ball floated down. It's not like it was a line drive and hit and you had to turn. He had time to run down there and get a good look at it. You know, he's shaking his head. He knows. He got it right. Plenty of time.
Well, Lonnie Chisenhall, chance to knock him in here. He's 0 for 2 on the day.
See if Lonnie, the third left-hander in this lineup, can get a base hit. That'll be 4 if he could off Duffy. He doesn't give up many to left-handed hitters. But with Kipnis with 1, Brantley with 2.
And Lonnie's never faced him before today either. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Fouled back off the mask of Perez. Breaking ball just missed, and it's 2-2. Chisenhall strikes out, 2 away. 5th strikeout for Duffy.
Well, fans, you can enjoy fireworks. It'll be presented by Discount Drug Mart. That'll take place Friday. That'll start the series against the Chicago White Sox and take us into the All-Star break. Rally Alley will be out and presented on Larry Doby Way. That'll kick us off right into the All-Star break.
Mike Avila's 1 for 2 with a double tonight. And Duffy drops his curveball in for a strike. A little bit low. No, a called strike there. And you could see Perez bring the glove up. But Cooper giving the low strike there. It's 0-2.
Yeah. That was down.
And Avila strikes out to end the inning. 6 strikeouts for Duffy, but he's given up a season-high 10 hits. And the Indians lead it 4-1. Sunday afternoon, 4-1. The Indians lead it as we roll along here to the 7th inning. Corey Kluber has thrown 68% of his pitches for strikes today. And when he gets to 2 strikes, he's like one of those certainties in life, like death and taxes. Royals 0 for 12 with 8 strikeouts when they get to 2 strikes.
That's how tough, and they know how tough he is to hit when he gets to that point. That's why you'll see a lot of swings early. One reason why his pitch count is down to 77 going into the 7th inning now.
Raul Ibanez, the 42-year-old who has amazed his teammates with how well he keeps himself in shape. Not only does Ibanez work hard in the gym to maintain his physique and the standards, but no more dairy, no more gluten.
Oh, yeah.
No packaged or processed foods whatsoever. But his teammate Eric Hosmer says his work ethic is just ridiculous.
Well, you don't play to his age without working hard. That's for sure.
He grounds out here, 1 away, and it's time now for a Mazda game break. Here's Al Pawlowski.
Hey, Matt, the Yankees coming to town tomorrow for a 4-game series. They're off to a great start today in Minnesota. They have a 6-0 lead, thanks in part to Jacoby Ellsbury. This 3-run homer here in the second inning has made it 6-0. They're in the top of the third now. All Yankees at Target Field. Matt?
All right, thanks, Al. Here is Danny Valencia 0 for 2 on the day. He has flied out, grounded out. And a cutter low and away for ball 1. Poured a 4-seam fastball over at the knees, and it's 1-1. Gets ahead now. 2 strikes.
Another thing Kluber has done so well today, Matt, is when he get to 2 outs, it hasn't taken him long to get that 3rd out. They haven't prolonged any innings on him. Fouling off pitches, maybe a walk, this or that. 23 total pitches through the first 6 innings, getting that 3rd out. I figured if I didn't use that note, Tommy would give it to you next inning, so I figured I had to do it.
He strikes him out looking, and that's the 9th strikeout of the day for Corey Kluber. 2 down here in the 7th. Let's go downstairs to Katie, who has more on. Well, Katie, what is the plan against Mike Moustakas?
Well,
because he's had a lot of success against the Indians.
Yeah, he is, and we've seen that in this series, Matt, how confident he is when he faces the Indians. And Mickey Callaway said, when we've made a mistake, he makes us pay, which is what we're seeing here. But he said the key is to use his aggressiveness against him. And if you're going to miss with your pitches, you got to go sky high or in the dirt and get him to chase.
Yeah, if you miss in his happy zone, he's not missing.
Well, that's true. That's what happens when you have success against a team or a pitcher. If you do happen to get your pitch, you get in an at-bat, you don't miss it. And he didn't miss that pitch he hit last time up.
1 ball, 1 strike. Well, remember his first at-bat, Kluber struck him out, and when Moustakas swung and missed, he just sort of threw the bat as if to say, whew, it's going to be a long day. And the way Corey started this game, it was hard to argue with Moustakas' feeling. He retired the first 7 in a row to start. Gave up just 1 hit through the first 4 innings until Moustakas homered in the 5th. And even with that, he's only allowed 3 hits. The solo homer and 2 infield hits. Now the 1-2 pitch. Able to lay off. And a bouncing ball foul. Kluber's 2-2. And a high fastball. Fouled back. I think that was the same pitch he struck him out on back in the 2nd inning.
Just wasn't high enough. Didn't get it up, elevated a little bit more.
That fastball up and away, and now a full count. Fastball away. And the 3-2 is fouled off.
He's doing a good job of hanging in there. Falling off some pretty good pitches when he gets to 2 strikes.
Well, remember he struck out the left-handed hitting Raul Ibanez with a breaking ball backdoor back in the 2nd inning.
Yeah, but he located that one just beautifully. He's tried just about everything he has to get Moustakas to swing and miss, and he hasn't.
Now, and this is how it goes when you're going well, as Moustakas is against Cleveland pitching. This will be the 10th pitch of the at-bat.
See, this is the first time that he has had a trouble getting through. This hitter has forced him to throw more pitches to get that 3rd out of the inning. He tried that breaking ball, he missed with it, and he walked it. First walk of the afternoon.
And the first hitter to reach with 2 strikes. And Alcides Escobar will be the batter now.
He wraps around the outside part of the plate. That was a good at-bat for Moustakas.
Escobar's been called out on strikes both times today. Fastball hit high in the air, left center. Brantley calling for it. Michael makes the catch, and the inning is over. 7th inning stretch time now here at Progressive Field with the Indians on top 4-1. And the 7th inning stretch brought to you by Spitzer Auto World. Life is hard. Buying a car shouldn't be. Completed here as we go to the bottom half of the 7th. Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen. The new guy gets the call for Kansas City, left-hander Scott Downs. Downs was recently cut loose by the White Sox, and Kansas City snapped him up. He'll be facing the top of the Indians' order here in the 7th inning. Danny Duffy went 6. Allowed 4 runs, a season-high 10 hits. Didn't walk a batter, struck out 6, gave up 2 home runs. Downs this year with the White Sox pitched in 38 games, ERA of over 6.
Well, a veteran that's been around a long time. And he's been a good left-handed reliever and a great matchup man. But on the downside now, he was with the Angels, the White Sox, with Toronto for a long time, now with Kansas City.
Jason Kipnis, infield single and scored a run in the 5th. Two balls, no strikes. Good pitch low in the zone, 2-1. Scott Downs, a 3rd-round pick of the Chicago Cubs way back in 1997. Hard smash to right, but right at Lorenzo Cain, 1 down. On this Independence Day weekend, Fox Sports Supports especially proud to recognize the Army's Gold Star Pin campaign, which honors the families of fallen service members. To learn more, visit goldstarpins.org. Asdrubal Cabrera with a base hit in 3 trips today. Most of the career for Scott Downs in the big leagues has been spent north of the border, with first the Montreal Expos and then a long time with the Toronto Blue Jays. In recent years, though, he spent 3 years with the Angels, part of last year with the Angels and the Braves, and then this year with Chicago. Just missed. 1-2 the count. He had Tommy John surgery. Missed all of 2001, way back early in his career. And Cabrera is out chasing. 2 down.
He bounces one out in front of the plate. He was able to get Cabrera to chase it. You can see he took something, a lot of it off. A lot of speed off that pitch, put a little more tilt to it, and he got Cabrera to chase it.
Downs has had some remarkable years out of the bullpen. With the Toronto Blue Jays, for example, in 2007, he pitched in 81 games, so he was every other day. And had a 2.17 ERA that season. The very next year, had a 1.78 earned run average. Big hop for Hosmer. He'll flip it to Downs, and the Indians go 1-2-3. We'll go to the 8th. It's Cleveland 4, Kansas City 1. and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. "4-1 Tribe on top. Indians Live comes your way after the ball game. Brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. Al and Jason will be bringing you the post-game show from their new perch above the Indians bullpen in center field. Corey Kluber will start the 8th inning. 94 pitches on the afternoon. 64 of those have been strikes. Bouncing ball hit the short right at Cabrera, and as Drupal flips it over, the speedy Gerard Dyson retired, one away.
Well, 10,000 fans will get a Kenny Lofton jersey. That'll be on Saturday. The Indians will face the Chicago White Sox, and all fans, you can come out. Rally Alley will be happening on the weekend. So get Indians.com for your tickets.
Christian Colon looks at a ball inside. He's 0 for 2 today. Two 2-0 with action in the Indians bullpen. Looks like Brian Shaw.
Zipchinski.
And Mark Zipchinski, yeah. Ready if needed as Kluber closes in on the 100 pitch mark here this afternoon. Good fastball at the knees. 2-1. A bit too high, and it's 3 balls and a strike. Full count. Payoff pitch. Slow chopper hit to third. Chisenhall on the move. Sets and throws. Got him. Boy, what a difference when he has just an extra tick of time to stop and set his feet as opposed to throwing on the run.
Makes a big difference for Lonnie right there, no question. Get yourself in a good throwing position, and he had to do it quickly on the transfer, but watch his feet. They are set. Boom. Get rid of it, and it's right on the money. When he has to move a little bit, it's a little erratic.
But that was a dart.
All right, you remember you said Kluber going through that lineup the first time, 33 pitches, second time, 32. Well, the third time was 35. So how much more consistent can you get?
Wow.
He could complete this game now.
Kipnis out. He's got it. The Royals go 1-2-3. And Corey Kluber is pitching another gem here today. time for the AT&T fan photo of the game. And remember, you can tweet your photos to us using the hashtag STO fan photo for a chance to have it shown during one of our games this year. It's all courtesy of AT&T. Carlos Santana going to lead off for the Tribe. He'll be facing another left-handed pitcher. Third lefty of the day for Kansas City. It's Bruce Chen, who we've seen as a starter and as a reliever. Well, he can give you fits sometimes as a starter.
He just knows how to pitch, and he's been around a long time, and he was hurt and had to go down and rehab the last time we saw him when we were in Kansas City. So Danny Duffy goes in there and starts dealing and pitching, and Chen is going to be the odd man out and coming out of the bullpen now.
Santana tees off, but it's high and foul and out of play. Carlos got it started for the Indians today back in the second inning with a solo home run. Out of play. Two balls and two strikes. That's back out of play. Another hot smash. This to short. Escobar throws him out.
How about that play?
Santana's hit some hard hit outs today. He had a bullet that he hit to third back in the third inning that resulted in a double play, and this one scorched to short.
You can't hit it any harder, but watch how Escobar just stayed right there. He let the glove. He came up with it. He just knocked it down to keep it in front of him, and he right in front of him. Picks it up and throws him out. That was a tough play. That is our Wendy slow motion replay. He's a very good shortstop and an underrated one.
I'm guessing that one, you file that under the category, made it look a lot easier than it really was.
I mean, when that ball's hit that hard, you don't know what that hop's going to do. But did you see how he had his glove down and came up with it with his body? And just, it was right in front of him. He picked it up on the first hop. Great play.
Ryan Rayburn 1 out of 3 today, single and a run scored. He hits one high in the air, deep center. Dyson on the move, and he'll track it down for out number 2. In-game box score brought to you by Hyundai. Jason Kipnis, a single and a run scored. Cabrera with a hit. Brantley with a pair. The homer by Santana. Rayburn, Swisher, Gomes 2 hits. Lonnie Chisnall's the other one, only one left out of the party so far today. But again, he had never faced Danny Duffy before. And left-handed hitters had 5 hits total this year against Duffy coming in. And the Indians got 3, thanks to Kipnis and Brantley. Out of play. Low with it, 2 balls and a strike. 3-1 for Swisher, who is 1 for 3 today. And he draws a walk with 2 down to keep the inning alive. Up comes Yan Gomes. 2-run homer back in the second inning. Gave the Indians that big inning. Made it 3-0 at the time. And then he doubled with 1 out in the 6th. But Duffy was able to strike out the next 2 hitters to get out of trouble. A smash to third. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
What a pick by Mike Moustakas to rob Gomes of a hit, possibly a double. And we go to the 9th. 4-1 Cleveland. Lead it as we go to the 9th inning here at Progressive Field. Indians Live coming up next here on Sports Time Ohio, brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. Defensively now, the Indians will bring in Tyler Holt, making his Major League debut in right field. And Corey Kluber will try for the complete game victory. He will start, however, with Cody Allen warming up behind him in the bullpen. It might be a case where anybody gets on. Terry Francona goes to Cody Allen.
Well, he's certainly earned the chance to complete this game. He's looking for his 2nd complete game of the year. Both would be against Kansas City. And just a 3rd complete game for the Indians.
4th time through the order. Lorenzo Cain popped up in the 8th inning. Now the number 2 hitter, Eric Hosmer, starts the 9th, and he looks at a ball outside. He's 0 for 3. Salvador Perez is 0 for 3. He's on deck. Raul Ibanez in the hole, also 0 for 3. Bullseye, and a count 1-1. Swing and a foul tip. Might have got a piece of it. He did into the glove of Gomes. 1-2. Kluber deals. And a ground ball over the bag fair. And Hosmer on his way to second base. Boy, he just reached out and punched it over the bag at third for a leadoff double.
Well, it was a good pitch. He just protected it. He kept the ball in play, and he was able to keep it fair. Hosmer just Nothing else you could do there. Let's see if it was maybe elevated a little bit. It was upstairs. That ball was down. It might have been a little bit tougher for him, but you could see how late he was on the ball and able to keep it fair.
Now Salvador Perez comes to the plate. 0 for 3, struck out his last 2 times up. He's been chasing that pitch all day long. Which would tell me that he's not picking him up real good.
Yeah, you're not picking up the spin on that slider. No question about it. It's looking like a fastball to you. Out of the 15 pitches that Perez has seen today, 12 have been strikes.
And he tied him up with a good fastball. So he starts him with the slider away, and then he just went right in on his hands at 95 miles an hour. And it's 0-2. Slider again, got him. Strikeout number 10 for Kluber.
Well, on this slider, he gets Perez, and then after he strikes out his 10th and gets to double digits, Terry Francona is going to come out.
One of the few times Terry Francona has been booed in his tenure here in Cleveland, but that's because the fans want to see Kluber finish. They won't get their wish. Kluber goes off, though, to a standing ovation from the 16,991 in attendance here this afternoon. Cody Allen will be coming on to try and close it out when we come back. Now the Indians lead at 4-1. Kansas City has a man on with one out here in the 9th inning. Revisiting our keys to the game, brought to you by Wayside Furniture. Corey Kluber was dynamite. He was better than consistent. And for the Indians offensively, they did get him some run support. They had a 3-run second inning, added a run in the 5th to answer the only run he allowed today.
Yeah, they got him early.
But a chance to knock him out or knock Duffy out earlier, they let him off the hook. So it's still a tight ball game here, and Cody Allen will come on now. Cody pitched last night, gave up a couple of hits. The Royals tried to rally late in last night's game, so here we go. The batter is Raul Ibanez, 0 for 3 on the day. With the shift on, Kipnis a long way to go to get it. And he's able to track it down and throw him out 2 away. Hosmer moves over to third base. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Cody Allen. And with 2 down in the inning, it will be Danny Valencia, who is 0 for 3 on the afternoon. Cody a perfect 7 for 7 his last 7 save situations. And he goes with a breaking ball for strike 1. Oh, 1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back breaking balls to get ahead 0-2. Everybody up on their feet. High fly ball right field. Back goes Holt. Tyler Holt's got it and the Indians win it. Cody Allen 8 for his last 8, his 9th save on the year. Corey Kluber with 8 1/3 tremendous innings gets his 8th win of the season. And the Indians take the series. They beat the Royals 2 out of 3. They get to within a game of the 500 mark now at 43 and 44. Kansas City falls to 45 and 42. Danny Duffy takes the loss for KC. He falls to 5 and 8 on the season. It's one of those games where over the course of a 6-month season, you don't know if one win is bigger than another, but right now where this team's at, this is a big win because they really needed to win this series to get themselves some momentum headed into the rest of the homestand.
I certainly agree with that, Matt. That was to get the series after losing the first one, and they beat a very good pitcher today in Danny Duffy. They came back and they scored early, and Klober was just his typical self. Went out and dealt. So, yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Well, let's take a look at our key play of the game, brought to you by KeyBank.
And speaking of Klober, you look at him, he had double-digit punch-outs again. Another excellent slider. He had good zip and movement on his fastball. And this guy continues with the cutter, the slider, to baffle a lot of very good hitters, especially right-handed hitters. And good zip. They scored early, and he just continued to do it. That's our key play of the game, brought to you by KeyBank.
Yeah, important that you mention that because they got him some runs, and that maybe enabled him to just kind of settle in just enough as the Indians win it by a final of 4-1 here this afternoon. Stay tuned. We're back with a final thought on this one when we come back.